everyone, so 18 weeks of pregnancy. I feel like it's really flying by now. I feel like I was just saying this to one of my friends the other day. The first trimester was like, it was like crawling. I was like, just get me to the 12-week mark. I was wanting to get out of the sickness, and you know, by the 12-week mark, a lot of like risks are, you know, kind of dramatically decrease, and you're just so nervous, I guess, during that during your first pregnancy anyways, every little thing, and it's like, you know, just get me to this point, just get me to this point. And so now I kind of feel like these past few weeks have really flown by, and the 20-week mark, sort of halfway mark, is approaching, and it is crazy. So before I really get going with this, I want to kind of explain what we're going to be talking about in this video. Mainly I want to talk about products and things. A lot of you have had questions about if I've been using stretch mark creams, if there have been anything that I've changed, like how I've changed certain products because I'm pregnant. Things that have really been doing me right during this pregnancy, supplements and things like that. And then I'm gonna briefly sort of talk about those books that I mentioned a couple weeks ago, because I have gotten through most of those. And also, I wanted to mention this. Next week I want to do like a Q&A type video, because these videos really kind of garner a lot of questions, which is totally normal because it's an interesting thing. Pregnancy is an interesting thing, whether you're pregnant or not. I know that I've gotten probably more questions during all this than anything else. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not a pregnancy expert by any means, but if you want to ask me questions about my experience and things that I've gone through, if you just have any questions, then let me know, and maybe next week's video will be partially like a Q&A type video. So I think that will be fun. So leave me the comments below, your questions in the comments below, and yeah, I'll get to those next week. I'll get to as many as I can. First of all, I'll mention these books before I jump into the products, because I really want to talk a lot about the products mostly. So first, I'll kind of talk briefly about the week. I felt really great. The only weird thing, I don't know if any of you have heard of round ligament pain, but it's something that you experience. Not everyone experiences it during pregnancy. Some women do, some women don't. Some women experience it a lot worse than others, and mine is not bad by any means, but it kind of scared me when it first happened. And basically, like around your uterus, there are ligaments, and I think they're called the round ligaments, I guess. And they sort of like cocoon your uterus and like keep your uterus from like hitting your other organs. And as your uterus expands, the ligaments sort of expand to support your uterus. Almost like the one along the bottom from your hip bone to your hip bone that really supports the uterus as it's growing. That's the one that gets the most stretched out, obviously. It sort of supports your uterus, but it's obviously the one that has like the most pain. So right at my left hip bone, I felt kind of like inward just a little. It was so bizarre. I felt like the worst pain, and it kind of scared me. And I thought, okay, that's not where my uterus is. If it was like in the middle, or if it was something, and you can get it in the middle too, but if it was like a squeezing, or if it was something that was really, really severe, I probably really would have freaked out. But it was just this weird sort of nagging, almost like pulling pain. And it would happen for just a few seconds, and then it would stop. And then about in an hour, it would do the same thing. And Waylon's dreaming, and he's kind of doing that little chirp barking. But it freaked me out. Turns out it was round ligament pain. And it makes sense, because this week and last week, my belly has really grown. And it is really looking like a pregnant belly. And I think it has in the past. You know, you get excited as it's changing, but then I know it's gonna be like huge. So it's just funny because it is changing a lot this week. I'll go ahead and show you my bump before we proceed. This is a top from Anthropologie. It's just a perfect prego top. And this is what my bump looks like. It's kind of a weird top because it's very loose, so I don't know if you can really tell. But yeah, definitely prego going on. This week I did get called out on my pregnancy from like a stranger for the first time, which was really exciting, because you go so many months really without people knowing you're pregnant, and it's like you want people to know. At least I did. I mean, you know, like you want people to know and stuff, and it's just funny when someone actually like says like, oh, are you pregnant? You know, and it's just exciting. So that happened for the first time, which was fun. Like I said, and you can watch that video, it was a few weeks ago, I think, or maybe it was last I don't remember which one it was. Anyways, so I went to the bookstore and gotten a couple of pregnancy books, and I love reading about all this stuff. And like I said, you know, I don't take the advice too seriously, but it's fun to read about stuff, obviously, that you're interested in. So I've gone kind of crazy over pregnancy books, and like I said, I think mothering and parental instincts come mostly from within, so I think it's kind of dumb to like take too much advice from books, but it's interesting to read about, so I've enjoyed them. So, what to expect when you're expecting. This is probably the one that you hear the most about. I did not like this at all. I thought it was very, like, the tone was very scary. It's like you want to read, you know, like, oh, you know, I'm going to read month by month, and it's going to, you know, tell me little things that I might be feeling. It talked about things that I did not even know existed, that I did not need to know about. That kind of freaked me out, that shouldn't have freaked me out. Like, things I just did not need to know about. There were some good things in here, but not many. Maybe some people like it, but I didn't like it. I thought it was scary. It was a scary book. So, did not like. If you want a book like that, I would suggest, and this is a whole other story, but I'll explain this in a minute. Let me get through the ones that I've already talked about. The Happiest Baby on the Block, I really, really loved this. I think this is very reassuring. If you have a baby that's very like colicky, or if you are having trouble with like your baby sleeping or being able to calm your baby, this just was very reassuring, and it made you feel like it's gonna be okay, you know? And I know the baby's not even here yet, but I think it's very good to read when you're pregnant, just to sort of prepare. And the tone was very positive, very like loving, like very, it was written by a pediatrician, and a lot of things I did agree with a lot. Talking about, you know, how you really need to like nurture your newborn and just all kinds of, I mean, obviously, but it was very reassuring, and just sort of, it kind of helped you understand some more about all that. It's just, I liked it. I would really recommend that book. It's very repetitive. The whole book could have been summed up in literally 10 pages though. So a lot of it was just kind of like where they give a lot of stories, like real people, like accounts of, I would skip over those. I would just read the like meat of the book. Yeah, it could have totally been summed up in 10 pages, but it was a good book. Bringing Up Baby, I have not read yet. This is my next one. I want to start this tonight. So I'm excited to start this one. And then this was one that I didn't show, that I think, maybe I hadn't bought this at the time, but I think I bought this at the same time. I just didn't show it. I think it had gotten mixed up or something, but I bought this Mommy IQ by Rosie Pope, and she's the one that's in Pregnant in Heels and all that. And I just thought it looked like a cool book when I flipped through it. It's just very easy to read. I mean, I literally got through this like in one day or one night. It wasn't a big deal. But I thought this was really sweet, and it was a lot of like common things that I think are reassuring to know. And then her, OB, wrote a lot of little snippets, like probably wrote most of the snippets in the book about like real pregnancy issues, and talked about a lot of like medical things, what to expect at the hospital, like took you through like what to expect during a birth, like the good, the bad. I liked that. I thought that was a cute book. And as I mentioned, I did purchase a few others. Brad and I went out the other day, and he had to go into a store where he had to wait a very long time. And so, I'm not even going to get into what he was doing. It was funny. But anyways, he had to go in there, and he was like, there's 27 people ahead of me. Just go ahead and go do something. So I went across to Barnes & Noble, and of course, looked at the baby books again, the parenting stuff. This is what I would, well, okay. This is this I think so far is good. It's the Mayo Clinic Guide to Your Baby's First Year. Just a lot of basic stuff about what to expect. Anything you could imagine is in this book. Anything that you would encounter. So I like this. Not that you should pick up a book every time something's wrong, but it kind of, you know, I think it's good to be informed. But what I was saying, instead of the what to expect when you're expecting, they also have a book called Guide to a Healthy Pregnancy. The Mayo Clinic Guide to a Healthy Pregnancy. It looks just like this, but it has like a belly on it. I think I'm going to get that, because I think that's what I wish the other book probably was, based on how that one's written. So instead of the what to expect when you're expecting, I would recommend those books. And I also got the Womanly Art of Breastfeeding. So I haven't really decided how I feel about this one yet. I want to breastfeed. I'm obviously going to try if I can. That would be ideal. But the tone of this book, I'm not really loving. It basically is the tone is kind of like, if you don't breastfeed, then you're not doing what's right. And I don't really like that. I think that there's a lot of women that aren't able to, and I think that that's fine. So I think people need to just make their own decisions about that. But so yeah, I'm still kind of getting through that one. So about the products. I have changed a lot of things that I've used. So about the products, I do want to talk about my stretch mark creams and things. Now, stretch marks are something that I believe you can't really prevent, and I've always heard that you can't really prevent it, so maybe that's why I feel like that. I do feel like it's probably more of a genetic thing than anything. My mom didn't get them. I don't think that her mother got them, my grandmother. I use stretch mark cream, and I think most of the time, women that are pregnant, they're using stretch mark cream to prevent it, but I think also because your belly is uncomfortable. It is like really tight feeling. Mine is so tight this week, and it's itchy, and it just feels so much better when I use these products. So I've been using the Mustela Double Action Stretch Mark Cream since, I probably used about half of this, since the very beginning, just because I wanted to, you know, start using something, and it was just kind of fun to use. And I'm glad that I have, because it's made my belly a lot more comfortable. It has a strong smell. It's almost like that sunflower scent from the 90s. That's what I would say it smells like. I could not use that a whole lot during my first trimester. It really, the scent got to me because I was just everything was making me sick, but I like it now. This scent does not bother me now, but it feels really clean. It rubs in really well. But something that I discovered during my first trimester that I really liked was the Mama Bee Belly Butter. I used quite a bit of this, and I just love the smell. There's no extra fragrance added to it, but it's just very good ingredients. Like, it's scented basically just from the ingredients. Coconut oil, almond oil, jojoba butter, cocoa butter, shea butter. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. So this one is very intense. I think it's a lot more moisturizing, and I use it like on my belly, on my side, on my boobs, sometimes on my back. But I really like it. I think that both of those are good products. I do like the Mustela, but I think that I wouldn't repurchase it. The Mama Bee is probably what I would repurchase. This has been probably one of my favorite things, if not my favorite thing. It's the Lush African Paradise. I'm completely out, and really missing it. So I need to get another one. Basically, it's like a body conditioner you use in the shower. You wash your body, and then right at the end, you use this. And I put it on my belly, on my chest, on my arms. I started using it on my legs. You rinse it off, and you do not need lotion when you get out. Your skin feels so amazing. It's very lightly scented, but it's a good scent that I like. So this is definitely something that I need right now, so I cannot wait to get more. That I would recommend to any and everybody. Speaking of body wash, I've been using this Aveeno Skin Relief Body Wash. It says that it cleanses and moisturizes to soothe itchy, dry skin, and it's not very heavily fragranced. That's one thing during my first trimester I could not use hardly any of my body washes because they made me so sick in the shower. This has a very light fragrance, and it really works into a big lather, and it's very creamy. So this is good, and something that I will definitely repurchase, not just for pregnancy, but that is a good body wash. And I mentioned I don't really use lotion on my legs and stuff and on my arms when I have the Lush product, but I just reach for this. I mean, this is so light that when I need it, this is what I use on my arms and legs, and it's the Nivea Express Hydration. It doesn't have any like dangerous ingredients in it, and this is just something that you guys have seen me talk about for years and years. Brad and I share that lotion, and we just really love it. My deodorant, I'm not an alarmist when it comes to deodorant. I think you can use whatever deodorant you want, but I've always used this healthy deodorant anyways, and still that's what I'm using, and I feel like it's something that I feel good about using while pregnant because it doesn't have any bad ingredients or anything. So still really loving this. So those are like my main body products. I feel like where your skin is concerned, like skincare, a lot of things do actually have more like harsh ingredients and things that could be considered dangerous. So I have changed up things a little bit there. These products I would use whether I was pregnant or not. I mean, obviously I wouldn't be like using belly butter or anything, but all these other products I would use regardless. But I'm thinking that my skincare video needs to be separate because it's products that I would use pregnant or not, and it's just what what's working for me now. So I think that I need to probably do that on Friday. So that'll be Friday's video this week. So if you want to see my skincare and everything, then that'll be Friday. But these are all very good Prego products. And I forgot to mention my vitamins. I use the One A Day Women's Prenatal, and 2 come in a box. And what it is this is the actual multivitamin, and then this is a DHA, like those little like clear liquid gel looking things. So you take them together. I take them religiously. I've been using them way before I was pregnant. So I don't know. I think that that's a good thing to do. I remember my doctor told me that years back. She was like, if you're gonna, if you're planning on getting pregnant anytime soon, even if it's in the next few years, go ahead and start taking your prenatals, because it'll just kind of, it'll be good for your body. So I've always done that, and I haven't noticed over the years that they really change my nails or my hair, but I know my hair always grows pretty fast, but my nails have always just been sort of meh. But since I've actually been pregnant, my nails have just gone crazy. So I'm excited about that. That's kind of neat. They're getting to the point where they're kind of on my nerves though, like too long, so I need to cut them. But I do like these. And I meant to mention that they have a new formula now where everything is in one pill. So I think next time I'm going to get those, because I don't mind taking 2, but it would just be easier to have 1. So is that it? I feel like, yeah. So I hope that y'all enjoyed that. If you're not pregnant, if you are, then that will really help you, hopefully. But if you're not, a lot of those products I'd be using anyways. The only thing I wouldn't probably use is like the stretch mark cream, like the belly butter and stuff. And sometimes I use that on my legs and on my arms, I meant to mention. It's lotion. I mean, it's not going to hurt you. But yeah, that is it for this week. That's all I can really think of that went on. Next week, I do have a doctor's appointment, but it will be after the video, so I'll talk about that in the next video after next. Yeah, the skincare video will be coming up soon. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video. As far as like makeup products and stuff that I've changed, I might mention that in a later video in an upcoming vlog, but really haven't changed anything major. I look at the ingredients. I talk to your doctor or your dermatologist. My dermatologist is really familiar with like obviously like what's good for what you should use when you're pregnant, what you shouldn't. Just talk to them. Be very careful with Google. Google has been my worst nightmare. I do not Google anything pregnancy related. It freaks me out. So I stay off Google for pregnancy related things. But yeah, I'm careful. I know what's good and bad in my mind, what I'm comfortable with, what I'm not, and I just read product ingredients and I don't go too crazy, and I haven't had to change much, so that's been good. It's a time in your life where it is worth being careful. So while I'm not the ingredient police, it is worth it right now. So I hope that y'all enjoyed the video. I will be back on Friday, like I said, with a whole skincare video and details of what I've been doing, because I do feel like it has been really, really working and making my skin look really pretty. So I will post that on Friday. I hope that y'all enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you all very soon.